Not all births are carnal. There are other invisible ones that take place in the shadow of the soul, realities that don't come from the physical womb, but from a subtle sanctuary that exists within every human being. You don't see the energetic womb, but you inhabit it. You don't name it, but it creates you. This space doesn't belong solely to the feminine body. It is a center of vibrational creation present in all men, women, and souls in transit. It is the place where your deepest projects, your most meaningful relationships, and your transformations are conceived. More radical is not in your thoughts nor in your mental desires, is deeper in the cave where consciousness takes form. All your life you have felt that energetic womb without knowing it. That sudden intuition, that feeling that something is about to be born inside you, that silent call to change course, but only a few times have you been taught to listen to that space, to nurture it, to trust in its time, because in this world that accelerates everything we have forgotten that true creation needs darkness, silence, and waiting, like any pregnancy. And if your blockages aren't due to a lack of action but a lack of connection, and if your dreams aren't manifesting because you're hatching them not from the soul but from the ego, in this video we'll descend into this sacred space. We'll explore the energetic womb from its origins, reviewing the esoteric traditions that understood it as a portal between worlds. We'll see how it's activated, how it's blocked, and why it's important to manifest not just things but also lives. Authentically, we will talk about the feminine principle as energy, not as gender, about how dominating is not passivity but an act of power, about how everything you live was once a seed planted in that invisible field and how you can consciously sow again. But this time with the soul, prepare to discover a secret that your body already knew but your mind had forgotten. This is not just another video but a return to the source where it all begins, because no matter how many times you have failed, you can always return to the womb. Energetically, you can always return to yourself, since the beginning of spiritual thought creation was not understood as an external act but as a deeply inner process that was silently hidden in ancient cosmogonies. The universe was not born from chaos but from the fertile void, a void that was not absence but latent fullness. Just as from the womb of night the light of the invisible is born, from this sacred void flows what many traditions called the cosmic womb, and in it they recognized a mirror of our own creative center, the energetic womb. In Egypt, the goddess Nut, the sky itself, was seen as the body that incubates the entire cosmos. Her womb arched over the earth and gave birth to the sun every dawn. In Vedic India, the concept of Iranjagarbha, the golden egg, symbolizes the divine matrix from which all existence springs. It was the great vibrational cavity in which the sleeping worlds waited to be born. But beyond myths and symbols, these cultures knew something essential, that the creative energy was not confined to the biological act. Within every being there existed a womb, a spiritual matrix where visions, intuitions, and possible futures were incubated. The female physical body represented this, yes, but the principle was universal in Taoist teachings. The field of the elixir, the lower dantian, was considered the center of inner alchemy and was located in the lower abdomen. It was a space where life energy, or qi, was concentrated to be transmuted. Although it was used primarily in martial and spiritual practices, it actually described the womb. Energetically, the center where inner transmutation occurs. Western esotericism also represented this vision in alchemy. The inner process of creation of the opus magnum took place in the sealed vessel, a symbolic container in which the elements underwent death, dissolution, and rebirth. This vessel was not just an external tool, but a mirror of the human soul, the inner space in which the shadow is processed and the light is illuminated. In more current terms, it is the energetic womb. And let us not forget the shamanic tradition, which teaches that all conscious creation springs from the womb of the Great Spirit. For Native Americans, every human being carries within them a power center connected to the earth that can bring forth realities when honored with intention, stillness, and vision. Biological sex plays no role. What matters is the ability to preserve, nurture, and release. This knowledge was obscured, fragmented, or ridiculed with the rise of rationalistic models that denied the power of the energetic body, especially that of the male. The spirit was both glorified and despised. The inner matrix, but the ancestral, does not die. It merely hides, waiting to be rediscovered. When we speak today of the energetic womb, we are not inventing anything. We are reactivating an ancient wisdom, for the soul has always known that before a reality is born outside, it must mature in the fertile silence within. Imagine an obsidian bowl floating in the penumbra of your being. It does not radiate light, but contains it. It does not produce sound, but resonates. It is warm, although invisible. It is your energetic womb, a vibrational matrix that lives within everyone. We live beyond the biological body, and although many ignore it, everything that comes into our lives, relationships, opportunities, crises, even illnesses, was once a seed deposited in this inner space. To understand it, we must first abandon the idea that only the biological feminine can mature in the energetic. Every human being has a feminine and a masculine principle. The masculine is direction, impulse, action. The feminine is containment, anticipation, fertilization. The energetic womb is the space where these principles intertwine to create realities. Without this balance, there is no creation. This space is not anatomical, although it is anchored in physical areas such as the lower abdomen, the second chakra, or the dantian. But its nature is subtle. It is a vibrational field in which your intention, your deep desire, and your consciousness are sustained, like threads that give form to a new life. What matures there manifests sooner or later. That is why this space is sacred, for what you sow within it either thrives or rots. How does this energetic womb function through 3 essential elements? Presence, vibration, and containment. First, presence. Presence is the light that allows you to see into the cave. Without presence, there is no awareness of what you are creating. Many people live by sowing fear, lacking anger in that space without knowing it, and then wondering why their life is plagued by fear, lack, or toxic relationships. What enters the energetic womb, as well as what enters the physical womb, is nourished, be it light or shadow. That is why learning to look within is the first act of spiritual sovereignty. Second, vibration. The energetic womb responds to frequencies, not to rational desires. It is not enough to want something. You have to resonate if you want love, but your vibration is one of lack or fear of abandonment. What you carry is a distortion of love. This womb does not understand words, it understands vibrations. You do not attract what you think you are. You attract what you are deep down. That is why many mental affirmations do not work. The language of the womb is emotional, symbolic, ancient. It is fertile land that only responds to what is authentic. Third, restraint. Nothing can develop if there is no safe space to hold it. The energetic womb is a place of incubation. The problem is that we are trained to do things, to hurry, to force things, but every seed needs darkness, silence, and time. Those who constantly interrupt their processes with doubt, judgment, or overexertion interrupt maturation. Learning restraint without demanding immediate results is one of the greatest tests of spiritual maturity. It is not passivity, it is alchemy, and here comes a powerful concept that is not honored. Withers if you deny this space, if you ignore it, if you pollute it with repetitive thoughts or unprocessed emotions. The energetic womb closes, and even if you continue to wish, nothing blossoms. It is like a temple sealed inside without reverence. There are no miracles. This womb not only brings forth wishes, it also brings forth symptoms, reflects revelations. It is your quantum mirror. Here your relationship to the world is forged, for the world is nothing more than the projection of what you carry within you. Therefore, the true the act of creation begins with an essential question. What am I harboring within me right now? Not what you desire, but what you are incubating in deepest silence, without even realizing it. And when you succeed in inhabiting this space, not as an idea, but as a living experience, the world begins to spin differently, not because it has changed externally, but because you have returned to the center where everything begins, the invisible sanctuary of conscious creation. The energetic womb is not a tool, but a living being, a sensitive and receptive field that communicates with you. Soul, long before your mind knows something is happening. But like everything sacred, this space can be misinterpreted, distorted, or used unconsciously. When that happens, we not only stop creating with intention, but we also begin to attract realities that throw us off balance. One of the most important nuances to understand is that the energetic womb doesn't distinguish between good or bad, positive or negative. It only knows how to incubate what is offered to it. It's like the earth. If you sow a poisonous seed, it will bear fruit equally, not out of malice, but through cosmic neutrality. And this principle is fundamental because it explains why so many people, despite desiring love, peace, or abundance, continue to manifest pain, chaos, or repetition. The energetic womb does not respond to your conscious desire, but to your inner programming. And here we enter deep territory. Most of us inhabit this space not from our essence, but from our traumas from childhood wounds, inherited beliefs, lineage histories, unresolved pacts, and each of these invisible layers emit a frequency. This frequency is the seed, the reality that manifests is the fruit. That's why it is one of the greatest acts of spiritual power to cleanse your energetic womb, not with empty rituals, but with radical presence. Observe what burdens you have placed there without realizing how many "I don't deserve it, this is too much for me, it will never be given to me" are anchored in your field without you questioning them. Every thought held in pain, every undigested emotion, every judgment about yourself accumulates in it. Womb, and when you're saturated, the energetic womb closes not because it wants to punish you, but because it needs to protect itself. A closed womb manifests as creative blockage, emotional stagnation, loss of purpose, or even on the physical level as digestive, sexual, or hormonal issues. The body doesn't lie. It is the echo of what you are unknowingly carrying. But there's also another nuance. This space can be reopened not with force, but with reverence through reconnection practices, sacred silence, and deep inner awakening. The energetic womb is actually a return to your ability to create from essence, not from conditioning. This is where many people find the great paradox. The more they try to create from the mind, the less happens. But when they surrender to the emptiness, when they allow the mystery to work without interference, realities begin to manifest almost effortlessly, not because there is no action, but because this action aligns with a previous invisible but certain pregnancy. This emptiness, the energetic womb, is not. Absence is the place where everything that will be already exists in a potential state. It is the womb of the soul and is only activated when you allow yourself to trust the invisible, that which you don't yet know but which already beats within you. One of the most hidden secrets is that linear time does not apply here. The energetic womb springs from the timeless. You can sow a vision today that will only manifest in years, and yet that seed is already alive, waiting for your vibrational constancy to come to light. And what happens when a person is alive? Entirely from your awakened energetic womb, you do not force your reality, you magnetize it. It becomes a field of coherence, and in this field the right people arrive, opportunities are revealed, paths open not as a reward but as a resonance, because ultimately the energetic womb does not create what you desire, it creates what you are. Knowing the energetic womb is not enough. Like any sacred temple, this space must be inhabited, worshipped, activated. It is not enough to understand it. Intellectually, you must live it, integrate it, breathe it in. Everyday life, the energetic womb is not awakened by theory, it is awakened by presence and practice. Here I share with you 5 ways that not only activate your inner creative space, but also nourish and protect it. Like the sanctuary that you are. Return to the body, return to the center. The energetic womb lives in the subtle body, but is anchored in the physical, and the body has often been treated as the enemy. Reconcile with it. Practice conscious breathing with a focus on the lower abdomen. Direct your attention to this area without expectations. Imagine turning on a lamp in a forgotten room. Don't expect results. Pay attention to the return. Sometimes simply staying mindfully in your body is the first step to reconnecting with your creative power. Second, observe what you are emotionally incubating. Use your emotional state as a mirror. Ask yourself several times a day, what am I currently nurturing within me? What emotion am I allowing to take root in my creative space? It's not about suppressing, but about honestly observing. Think of the energetic womb. Develop your feelings, not your emotions. Emotional awareness is your compass. 3. Practice guilt-free emptiness. We live with an addiction to doing, but the womb, as a creative space, needs moments of silence, darkness, and stillness. Turn off screens. Close your eyes. Do nothing. Allow your field to cleanse and regenerate. Doing nothing, when done intentionally, becomes the cradle of great revelations. The fertile emptiness is the beginning of all authentic creation. 4. Purify your inner space. That an accumulated space, the energetic womb, can be filled with toxic thoughts, painful memories, and limiting beliefs. Visualization can help you imagine your energetic matrix as a bowl that you cleanse with golden light. With water and symbolic fire, do it with intention. Declare this space clean, so that the truth can do the ritual is not superstition, is the language of the soul. 5. Create out of coherence, not out of urgency. Before you start a project, begin a relationship, or make an important decision, ask yourself this: does it align with my true self? Or is it driven by fear, lack, or comparison? Remember that what you create out of haste, need, or personal emptiness rarely blossoms in harmony. Coherence is the best fertilizer for your creative field. Above all, treat your energetic womb like a newborn, with tenderness, respect, and patience. Don't rush it into results. Listen to it, embrace it, because the safer and more stable this space feels within you, the more faithfully it can reflect what your soul has truly manifested. Inhabiting this invisible temple is an act of silent power, and like all profound wisdom, it transforms silently, but forever. Now you know that you are neither broken nor separate, nor empty. You are full of unspoken possibilities, of seeds waiting for attention, from inner spaces forgotten by the noise of the world, but intact in their silent power. The energetic womb is not a poetic metaphor, but a vibrational reality, and it lives within you. Perhaps you have never been told about it, perhaps you are. They taught us to look outward, to accumulate successes, and to pursue the goals of others. But at some point, the soul no longer wants to run away, but to create, not from the mind, but from the depths of being. And this is precisely where this return journey begins. We have explored the essence of the energetic womb, its roots in ancient traditions, its invisible yet infallible functioning, and its power to manifest what truly moves us. We have seen that it does not distinguish between shadow and light, but only between the authentic and being. Imposed, we have understood that everything that comes into your life is the fruit of something that already lives within you, planted and nurtured in silence, without you realizing it. We have also spoken about the purification of the containment of the sacred void and how something changes when you learn to honor this space as a living altar. You stop pushing reality, you begin to magnetize it, you stop making demands of the universe, you begin to cooperate with it from your inner temple. This video is not a mystical revelation hanging in the air. It is a call, a resonance. This touches something in you that you already knew but had forgotten. For true knowledge is not learned but remembered. And if something vibrated within you at these words, it is not because they are new, but because they have awakened an old memory. The next step is up to you. You can turn off this video and continue as before, or you can close your eyes, focus your attention on the center of your belly, whether physical or symbolic, and say to yourself, I am ready to give birth to a life with soul, regardless of your age, your history, your gender, your level of spiritual experience. We are all carriers of this creative field. We are all guardians of an energetic matrix that connects us to the great womb of the cosmos. If you want to remember who you are in essence, start by remembering what you can create from the unseen. Thank you for coming here. If this teaching has resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to this video, share this video, and tell us in the comments what you felt. Remember, when a truth is spoken out loud, it activates other dormant truths in those who listen to it. And if you ever feel lost, confused, or disconnected, don't look outside. Return to your center, to your temple, to your energetic womb. For there, in the warm, dark silence of the unmanifest, your next sacred creation awaits.